Hello in TV land. All right, this is a quick demo of the strength tree. It's pretty much done. It's got some fixing to do to it, just in terms of for anybody who wonders why I don't do tutorial videos, right? Think about it this way. I spent 5 hours this morning trying to figure out how to get these specials down to 1 and modify the perks. Then I spent the last 2 hours wanting to bash my face into a wall because Bethesda doesn't allow conditions inside the perk tab on anything but entry point crap. If that all sounds like gibberish, that's why I don't want to do bloody tutorials. It's like ripping your own junk off and then blowing it up with a pump and raping yourself with it just to learn this shit. I don't need somebody else doing that to me back for 2 to 4 times the time as I try to teach their dumbasses this shit. So that's why I don't do tutorials. It's fucking worse when I'm trying to teach somebody else who hasn't put in the effort. And part of this was because I never dealt with perks in Skyrim. I actually re-downloaded the creation kit tonight, opened it up, and thank fucking God I found a certain condition that actually would run on a spell, because in the perks, you know how they have things like if you're using a weapon, you do extra amount of damage. Well, those conditions don't work on a spell, which is what I was having to use to do things like Pain Train, where you get 1 strength and 1 strength. It was basically the 1 strength, and then I had to do -1 strength when you were out of the armor. Well, what was happening was it was giving you the +1 and the -1 all the bloody fucking time, which was kind of useless, and I was just like, I was losing my shit. Actually, that one was pretty easy. It was actually this one that was killing me. Heavy Gunner, where I was doing the last one. 1 strength and endurance if you were holding a gun, and -1 agility and 1 intellect if you had a heavy gun equipped. And it was giving me all of those at the even when the gun was unequipped. So I leveled up 200. Really cough all day. No cough, now cough. So I'm just going to go over the things real quick. The ones that I did not change at all were strong. If you guys have ideas for these, because we can go past the 4, I kind of think 1, 2, and 3, and 4 on strong back is fine. I think 25, 50, then you can use action points to run, then you can fast travel. If you guys can think of, like, I thought about going past it and making the next one plus 100 to carry weight, but you lose 5% move speed all the time. I mean, just thoughts on this one, because I'm not really sold on anything for it, hence why I haven't done anything. And Basher is the other one. I don't know what else we would do with this one. You guys could think up some ideas. Basically, now that I got this shit down, I think I can do most anything. So your first 2 points go into strength. Your third point goes to 5 hit points per minute, plus 2 damage with all weapons, 1 critical. You guys have seen this by this point. I changed the names. I did do the first of the names are generally the same, but Iron Fist turns into Strong Soldier, turns into Crushing Crusader, which we can't do yet. Big Leagues turns into Iron Horse, turns into Georgia Peach. I used baseball players' nicknames. Hopefully the Red Sox don't sue me. Let's get some more strength out of this bitch. Crushing Crusader. I think the first 3 on this one started pretty much the same. Bloody Brawler. Armor has an extra 2 perks if you notice. What I did with Armor was slight increase to move speed, damage resistance, and carry capacity is your number 2. You can get it early on. Number 3 gives you the rank 2 armor mods plus 1 strength. Number 4 is rank 3 armor mods. Number 5 is 1 endurance because of your constant crafting and tinkering, tireless tinkerer. And then Master Armor Smith, of course, gives you the rank 4. Blacksmith is kind of the same way with only 1 added perk, which is Brawler's Best Friend. Oh, sorry, which is Dedicated Forge Master, which the name state whatever. Fuck Bethesda, I gotta fix that one too. Dedicated Forge Master, which gives strength, and then back to here. So we've kind of integrated the strength around in the tree, so that right now you're at strength of 8. I'm level 200, so I can do a lot of this earlier on. And see so I'm trying to go up on this, whatever. Okay, Bloody Brawler. So Focus Fighter, 1 strength, negative 20% damage dealt with weapons if you're taking that one. Let's show some of the new ones that you guys haven't seen. Heavy Gunner. This one's kind of fun. 30% more damage and improved hip fire accuracy for level 2. Somebody really gonna freaking hit me at like this time of night? Porter gives you 1 extra strength from carrying around all that firepower, and you get 50% extra damage. Vaz gives, these are all named after Mel Gibson characters in movies. I couldn't help it. I'm just going to be doing this with all the perks. And the chance to stagger, but then you lose 20% accuracy in all other firearms with this one. And this is where you start to get hit. And then the Stone Banks is 80% more damage, extreme. And that's extreme hip fire accuracy. I wasn't kidding. I'm balancing the bad with the good. When they gave you this perk, basically they only gave you, I think, a 15%, and I gave you a 40. So it really ups the hip fire accuracy of heavy weapons. And the last one, Martin Riggs, is double damage, 1 strength and endurance, and -1 agility and intellect with a heavy gun equipped. I figured there should have been a payoff back and forth. The strength mastery we went over last time. Rooted, this one I had a little fun with. Whoa, excuse me. So the first thing you're going to notice is that I can't change the strength requirement for these, which really sucks. Whatever the initial perk is in the tree, I cannot change its required stats. The next ones I can, but the first one I cannot until we have some sort of access to the actual game engine. But it kind of works, because this tree, you can get to 9 a little bit faster than you can if you're specializing, and this would be a specialization. So this one, if you notice, it starts off weaker, 10%, but thing you don't notice is all damage. This isn't just the melee damage. I gave all damage, so this actually does help snipers in a way as well, or anybody standing still. So it's actually a nice boost, so I'm okay with it taking forever to get to. The next one is 10% accuracy and 15% damage to all weapons. You also gain 20 damage resist. And here's where it starts to... I hit the burn on this one at 3, because I figured with the way this one is working, it gives you a really big perks when you're standing still. We're going to hit you a little bit sooner. So 40 damage resist, plus 25% overall damage, plus 15% all accuracy when standing still. Minus 10% damage when moving. It also has a chance for bleed damage on melee attackers, hence Unwavering Bramble. So when melee attackers hit you, there's a 15% chance that they take bleed damage over time from hitting you. The next one is the disarm effect that was normal before, but a lowered percent chance because I'm adding extra ones. So instead of 25% like it was before, it's now a 15% chance to disarm, and you retain the 15% chance to bleed. Now you're doing 35% more damage, 50 damage resistance, but negative 25% damage when moving. The last one is 50% damage, plus 1 to all stats, and a chance to massively stagger melee opponents when still. If that means when they hit you, they have a chance to get like tossed back, sort of like when the power armor hits them. Negative 50% damage and -2 to all stats when moving. So this one is tough. It's Redwood of the Wastelands. So it's going to require some thought. You know, do you want to, do you not want to, that kind of thing in regards to some of these. Now I'm going to show the top real quick, because you can keep extending past, you notice how it says 10 and there's 10, you can actually keep extending your strength up to 15 off, or 13 off of that tree. So until it tells you you can't do it anymore, which it just sticks at requirements level 80. Once again, not sure how to fix that one. Pain Train, so this is the one that, you notice there's a couple extra things. There was no extra power armor damage I noticed in the trees. So, excuse me. The problem with Pain Train was the ones they had were pretty good. So instead of modifying the ones they had, I just added on top of them, and I changed the name. So the second one is the same as 1 and 2 are the same. 3 is exo dependent. At this point, you're using your power armor too much, so you get 1 strength and 15% extra. Wow, I spelled damage with a deme. And 2% movement speed and armor. -1 strength, -15% damage, and -4% move speed outside power armor. The thought is you're using the exoskeleton too much. You're going to be like, a little weak little bitch when you get out of it, but you'll use it more efficiently. So the fourth one is the same as the third one used to be. And the fifth one, the Mjolnir Mark V, is +2 strength, 35% extra. I did the same thing. I must have just copied. 5% move speed and armor, -3 strength, -50% damage, and -10% move speed outside of power armor. The thoughts are, I hope this kind of resonates with people now that you're seeing some of this. The thoughts are, if you're going to specialize, if you're going to push up those last 2 perks to 3 perks and make something extremely powerful, that you'll weigh the pros and the cons. Now, the cool thing is that if you took Redwood of the Wasteland along with Sniper, you're going to be really strong once I finally get around to Sniper, when standing still. But Sniper is going to have some other bad things when you're moving as well. Sniper will also have problems when you get too close to an enemy. If there's an enemy within, say, 20 meters of you, or not 20 meters, within 20 feet, 10 feet, whatever, you'll actually have lower damage resistance, etc., etc., etc. So Sniper will actually play into the people who want to fight really far away and give you massive shit tons of damage. But if you get jumped, your ass will take a ton more damage, and you'll be squishier, and you'll deal less damage. Just when you push up the tree. Like, if you wanted to take Redwood all the way up to like 3, and then Sniper up to like 3, and not push it up past the damaging ones, you could probably do a lot of damage and stay relatively safe, etc. It's the same thing with maxing the top of all the trees. The top of all the trees, like I said, are going to have those points in there where you just get, you know, greatly reduced incoming stagger amount, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, there we go. Now we're moving. 2% damage with all weapons, 1% critical chance. The idea is that if you really diversify your points throughout the trees that I make, there's a possibility you could get, you know, a plus, with whatever weapon type you're using, you could probably get like a plus 60, 70% critical strike chance. At the same time, you would lose accuracy and damage with every other type of weapon, etc., etc. So it's kind of pushing a specialized play. I did modify the level up as well. Basically, at level 1, you have 5 points. At level 2, you'll get 6 points. 3, you'll get 6 points. 4, you'll get 6 points. And I think that's it. 6, 12, 18, 20. Yeah. And then at after that, at level 8, or at level 9, 12, 15, 18, integers of 3, you're going to get an extra stat point. So for the rest of the game, you will get basically 33% more stat points. And you start the game. I think I might have left it at 5 more stat points for level 5. So you might get a grand total of 25 stat points in those first 5 levels, as opposed, or sorry, it'll be 29 stat points as opposed to the 24 or something that you would get normally, because if you count the actual special points at the top. This is way too much goddamn thought put into this shit, guys. At the rate, now that I know the keywords crap, I don't know how long it'll take me, because this took way too fucking long. I've got other projects that need to be done. We have a UMP going into the game. Blue wanted to talk about some other projects, probably has some other shit. At some point, will get to my all-in-one. It might actually be after this, because I'm actually pushing through this now, because I've got this shit. Yeah, that's about it. I actually had a great idea for the for my Patreon thing, for like the first person who puts it up to like 50 or 75 after I do this. I realized that after I finish this perception tree, my notebook from since the first quarter of last year will actually run out of pages. So once I go in and redact any personal information that might be in there, which there actually shouldn't be a lot, I'll probably send that off to whoever, you know, Patreon's a certain amount or something. I thought about it while I was doing this. It's the insane doodlings of a crazed mind. Like, some of these date back, yeah, a ways. There's a bunch of, I don't even fucking, some of it I look back at and go, oh, I remember that. And other things I'm like, was I on acid? So, I don't know. I'm going to make a video about that and put it up on the Patreon thing. But anyway, yeah, I don't know. If this doesn't fucking go well, if this doesn't get received well, I think I might just go out and kick a few cats, because this is way too much goddamn work. And I'm overthinking so much shit. Ugh, my goodness. I am gonna lock fucking chems behind a chemistry perk, though. Fuck that shit. You ain't getting no fucking chem crafting bullshit fast as you get the... Nope. Okay, I'm gone.